big speculations was that Anthony was coming back.
It's the worst when two immature, dudes, are making you feel so little.
Flaming Hot Cheetos are the only Cheetos anyone should be eating. Anyone who eats regular Cheetos is for sure a terrorist. Oh, tell us about your guy. Tell us about your man.
Well, my man, his name is Sam.
Ooh. I mean, I think we could all agree that Olivia's just overall a bad person.
No, I think this time around I'm gonna be a lot meaner to you.
That's fine. I mean, I'll
because you were mean to me, and now I'm gonna.
I was never mean to you. You were always mean to me.
I had 3 months to just think of insults. That's all I did all
well,
day.
same. I
So
have a notebook.
You're doing a rebrand.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not that much of it. It's not a drastic rebrand.
Wow, you're a little bitch.
All right. Well, this is a great way to start off the second SmoshCast of all time. Olivia, remember because we really like the Olivia's a Bully video.
It's a great video, and it's based on real life because Olivia bullies me.
That's actually not true, but I'm going to start bullying you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We have Olivia here.
Hello.
Yes. Hi, Olivia.
Hi.
This is going to be interesting because I feel like people rarely get to see the real Olivia.
The
you
real
know?
Liv.
Do you think you could bring her out in this podcast?
Give me $2 million.
Okay. Well, we're screwed.
Well, nope. I think, I feel like Olivia is exactly who she seems like on camera, which is a complete psychopath. Our friendship is actually what it is.
It really,
camera. You say insane things. I don't know how to handle it or how to respond. And you just keep going.
Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from?
The part where I make up weird sounds.
The part where you're psycho.
The part where I'm psycho. I think it comes from
probably the neural pathways.
My dad cheating on my mom.
Whoa, wowie.
Welcome to the podcast.
It's facts, dude.
Dropping bombs.
Dang.
Dropping divorce bombs.
Your dad's going to listen to this podcast, though.
No. YouTube is illegal in China.
Oh, well, there you go.
Wow, so you get to just talk whatever shit you want.
My dad. I'm just kidding. Oh, no, I love my dad. Dad, I love you.
I have to assume, I don't think my parents are going to listen to this podcast, but I have to assume at some point my mom's going to find it and then start listening to it. So that's like the one realm I can't talk shit about is my parents. I got to you know.
The only thing that I know about your dad,
yeah,
other than what you just mentioned, was when he visited for 2 days and he forced you to buy a more expensive car but made you pay for it.
Yes, I had to pay the lease on that car because it was more of him and my mom fighting over decision making, basically. My mom wanted to make a decision for me. My dad wanted to make a decision for me, and ultimately he was like, I want you to listen to me because your mother is wrong all the time, which is not true. That's why the divorce happened.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a good thing.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a pretty that sounds like a weird punishment. You're in big trouble. You're going to buy this Porsche. Hey.
So now I drive a Lambo.
He's like, you have to buy this solid gold car. I don't care how you do it, but you must.
See, I'm in a weird position with cars with my dad because my dad's very intense about cars, and he's so hyped on Honda Civics that I've had 2 in a row. And if I ever buy a different car than a Honda Civic, my dad's going to be like, well, they're great cars. I don't know why I don't know. And he's the type, he drove a Vega since he was 16 until he had me in his 30s. He drove the same car.
I feel like that's
years.
the Buick of your father's generation. Your grandfather probably loved Buicks.
Probably.
Because I feel like old people love driving.
Actually, my grandfather, as frugal as he is, he bought a T-Bird back in the day,
Nice.
back in
that's
the
cool.
back in the 50s or 60s. But he to this day is like, I don't know why I spent all that money on it. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah, that's pretty much every car. I mean, really, you're just trying to get from point A to point B. But some of us just want to do it in a more extravagant way, you know?
Yeah. I respect it. I don't think I'll ever buy that expensive of a car because I just don't care enough, and I just don't take care of my car enough.
I care a lot about my image and how people see me on the streets.
Yeah.
So
Olivia has the most street cred out of all the squad.
Yeah, the real Olivia, lots of street cred.
So much street cred.
I think it's a thing where it's easy to live without luxury things, and then you have a friend that gets something, and you're like, oh, ooh, that's nice. Ooh, wait, this seat gets warm, and it can also cool. Ooh, I want that.
Yeah.
Like, so once
it.
you start getting exposed, you're like, all right, I can get with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
But also, I remember when you got your car, you're like, you spend most of your time in Los Angeles in your car.
Yeah.
So it's like you might as well have a good experience if
I
you're
guess
going to
that
spend
makes
50%
sense.
of your time in the car.
Somebody put it in a good way. They said you should spend the money on the things that separate you from the ground. So it's a good bed, good
Yeah.
shoes, and a good car.
And a good plane.
Yes. Yeah, baby. Right? What's that
Yeah.
song?
Smosh Airlines.
G6.
Like a G6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that song.
Far East Movement.
Hell yeah, my people.
I dig my Honda Civic. I respect it. We have a good thing going.
It's
Yeah.
chocolate.
It is Kona black is the
So
official color
cute.
of my Honda Civic. Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Just like I like my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a...
No, go for it.
No.
Come on, it's a podcast.
Okay.
You could just speak your mind, Olivia.
Just like how I like my chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
That's
one.
right.
Good save.
Just like how I like our other castmate, Keith.
That's right.
All right.
That is how I prefer Keith.
Kona.
Kona.
Whenever Keith is Caucasian, I'm like, you know what? No, this is.
Just doesn't feel right.
You know what, Keith? No.
We're recording this in a really weird time right now because of all the craziness with the announcement of the Mythical and Smosh.
Right.
We're actually recording this an hour and 40 minutes after the official announcement on Friday.
Yeah.
So
things are chaotic.
things are chaotic. We're also shooting a video right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them of which is Every Podcast Ever.
All right.
Which, if you're listening to this on iTunes or any of your favorite podcast things, it will be coming out this Friday. If you're watching this on YouTube, hey, look, it came out today.
Woohoo.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. We jumped out of a scene and into here. We started at 6:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
and I need more coffee.
I feel like Joe Rogan. I
Yeah,
feel like this is what he does.
you gotta cough more, like in the middle, like. Oh.
This is brought to you by Onnit. Onnit is a great supplement for your bones and
You gotta smoke
your
a bowl
soul.
in the middle of it too. Like, just be like, that's really interesting. Anyways,
So
Bobby,
have you heard
Bobby, pull that
about
off.
aliens?
And I feel like for video, it's just I feel like his response to everything is, I feel like, yeah, because that's the thing about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's very curious, which is cool. But
I respect his podcast. I think that the awesome thing that he does is he listens,
yeah,
which a lot of times with comedy podcasts, everyone's just trying to get a joke in, like, and it's like every second, like oh, my penis though, right?
yeah,
And it just gets annoying. Like, just let the comedy happen if it's going to
Yeah.
happen. And he has a lot of interesting people on, and it's fun to listen to them.
yeah.
like-
Sorry, go on.
No, you.
I'll listen whenever it's like, yeah, I have a neuroscientist on, or
Yeah.
an astronomer or something. It's really interesting.
The first podcast I ever listened to, the guy interviewed Bo Burnham, and that's how I got into
That's
podcasts, because I respect the heck out of Bo, and I've been a fan of his since like the beginning days when he had that huge keyboard.
God,
I thought Bo Burnham was like a normal size or a small size person, but he just had this giant keyboard. So there was this big thing called YouTube Live. They did it once
Yeah.
in San Francisco, and it must have just been a financial disaster because they had like Katy Perry and Soulja Boy.
it was a big thing.
It was
Yeah. I
huge.
watched a lot of it.
Yeah, and this was the first time that like other YouTubers actually saw each other for the first
Yeah.
time. So there was like Dax Flame, which if anybody knows who Dax Flame is, they're freaking out right now because he's a god. Shay Carl, I believe Rhett and Link. I think Rhett and Link were there. They were, yeah.
And Barats and Joe was
Joe Beretta was
yeah.
there.
That dramatic chipmunk was there.
Yep. Charlie Bit My Finger
Charlie
was
Bit My
there, biting
Finger.
people's fingers.
God, YouTube, a different time.
Right.
Different time.
Yeah.
But that's where you saw Bo.
Yes. So we were all put up in the same hotel. So it was so wild.
Hotel room. Get into this room.
Just one single.
together.
Like, look, we spent all the money on Soulja Boy, so you guys need to cram into this one room.
Yeah.
Don't worry, there's 2 bathrooms. I got in an elevator to go to the event, and there was this tall ass dude standing next to me, and I don't look at people in the face on the elevator. That's weird. So like, he got off, and I was like, oh, that's Bo. I don't know if I ever said hi to him.
God, I loved his stuff back then. And I love his stuff now, obviously. 8th grade's one of my favorite movies of this past year.
Gucci.
But man, he had a video where he was just going about his day. And it's just him just doing nonsense stuff. It's so good. He's so funny.
If only we could be so talented.
He's a genius. I really think he's one of the most genius people out there.
Yeah, I mean, listening to him on that podcast, I'm like, I don't necessarily want your brain, but
Yeah.
you're amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like that sometimes. I feel like that. I catch myself thinking that when Shayne tells a really good joke. Like, I'm like, God, I wish I had Shayne's brain.
My brain is nothing like Bo
Wait,
Burnham's.
just kidding. I've never thought that before.
Damn, Olivia
wow.
coming in with those
I knew it was coming. A compliment?
No. I really do think that. Like, today you said something really funny, and I was like, God, I wish I thought of that.
Is that also because your parents got a divorce?
Everything stems back from
Okay.
to the divorce. The way I am.
I wasn't
small I
born
am.
until the divorce.
Small? How
Yeah.
small? You become
I was
malnourished.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm
you-
just kidding.
Are you sure that wasn't from your mom just shutting you in the garage for
no,
hours?
no. That taught me a lot of discipline.
That's where I trained. Just me in a garage with a punching bag
Yeah.
for 2 years.
No, but I feel like I can be myself around you guys. Like, there's so many different versions. You know, there's the sassy mama version.
I know that one well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, be careful. Don't you talk any crap.
Do they all
Olivia.
have different voices?
Sassy mama's like this. I'm just kidding. It just depends what mood I'm in, you know? Like, there's the weird Olivia, where I just, like, make weird sounds and...
And when you get mad, though, it's like, it's no joke.
Really?
You and Keith have gotten into arguments, and it's...
No, I feel like when I'm mad, I'm very monotone.
Yeah, it's monotone, but, like, your face is still, but you'll be like, no, you're not, that's, no. Don't even talk to me right now. Don't even talk to me. You and Keith, look, this is one of the funniest moments ever. We used to obviously fly out to Sacramento to film sketches, and we'd be there for like 3 days at a time, and we'd all stay in the Smosh house. There was one night where you and Keith got into it, like you guys like were yelling at each other from across the house over Rihanna or Beyonce.
Yes.
It was over that, and Keith was Beyonce. He was like, no, Beyonce's the best. You were all about how Rihanna's really great.
I said Rihanna's really great, too.
Yeah, and he just,
Ooh.
I don't, yeah, there wasn't an actual argument happening because you were just saying Rihanna's also talented, and Keith was just like, no, Beyonce. Just
Well, I
Beyonce.
think Keith likes to be.
A
He just
little
likes to be.
bitch?
Yeah, he likes to be a little bitch sometimes.
He'll admit,
and-
he'll admit he
and
can
no,
get
and he
petty.
knows too. He was like, I'm petty as f. And I'm like, yeah, you are. Why are you trying to start a fight with me? You obviously know I love Rihanna. We didn't see each other's faces. We were just yelling from like Keith's room and then the living room. We were just yelling at each other. And then you can hear Noah with his patronizing laugh, which pisses me off so much because you know when I'm passionate. Do not patronize me by doing the Noah laugh. Do the Noah laugh, Shayne.
I don't know what it is.
It's just so annoying. And like,
I was just like, aha.
yeah, it's something like that.
Ah!
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then they're laughing because they're like in love with each other. And then like, I'm just sitting there and like, I'm like, okay, no one's defending Rihanna. Like, I got to defend my homegirl.
Courtney and I are kind of just like, I think I was off. I would sleep like right near the front door on a narrow bed.
You'd be
So
the
I
first
was-
one to get stabbed in a burglary.
to get
Yeah.
murdered. But I was kind of just there, just listening, kind of laughing. So I'm like, this is hilarious.
The laughs don't help. when I'm-
Courtney, I think was right there, like supporting you.
She was like, guys, come on.
But
and
then-
I'm like, I don't need this. I'm strong.
But eventually, they were just yelling at each other, just nonsense. And then eventually, Olivia just goes, oh, "Shut up!" And then there's a pause. And then you hear Keith just go, "She did not just tell me to shut up, did she? She did not just tell me to shut up. She just told me to shut up." And
I'm pretty sure I said, shut your mouth. Which is worse.
it's so funny though because it's over Rihanna and Beyonce.
And I start crying.
Yeah.
I start crying because it's the worst when two immature like dudes like are making you feel so little. And maybe it's a complex that I have. I don't like to feel small, but they were just like so mean to me, and nobody was helping me out.
It's probably
funny.
because Beyoncé is better than Rihanna.
Dude, don't even get me started.
And we should clarify, like, we love each other a
Yes.
lot. And this was probably, what, 3 years ago?
But then this argument ended literally within, I cried for like 30 seconds. It was really funny. I was laughing that I was crying. I was so mad. And then like, I think 2 minutes later, Keith comes out. He's like, I don't like it when you tell me to shut my mouth. I'm like, I'm sorry, but you're a mean. And then we hugged it out.
Yeah, that's literally how the squad would go. Back in the day, I mean, still, we'll just go through a day where it's just like we're just mad at each other for some dumb reason, like Rihanna and Beyonce, and then the next day we're back to being best friends.
I wish somebody could record like us arguing because it's so funny. It's over.
Our arguments are never that serious. It's
No.
always Rihanna and Beyonce
Yeah,
or
it's
something
because
like that.
I think we're tired and like we're just, we've been around each other for a little too long.
It's like a family, you know?
Yeah.
It's like we're some
It
like
really
big
is.
Italian family. We
Yeah.
all get mad at each other and then we make up. That always like scared me with one of my exes. Like her whole family would go like crazy on each other. They'd be like screaming at each other. And then like, we'd all go to bed the next morning, like everybody be sitting, eating breakfast, all friendly. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
That's crazy.
I'm the type I have to talk about it. Like I can't argue and then go back to being normal. I have to be like, hey, I'm sorry about this, or
yeah,
let's
me
talk
too.
about that. Let's put it in the past. But I can't just not bring it up again.
Yeah.
When some people just bottle it up, like they never talk about it. So they just bury it deep,
Ugh.
and then one day it'll just spring up
Yeah.
and just everything.
I'm not like that at all. I'm very forgetful.
See, I can't. If I offended anyone in any way, I have to like make sure that it's in the past. Damien and I
Yeah.
are both that way to such an extreme where we will apologize to each other for things that never happened. The first time I ever met Damien, we were like at a lunch that was great, whatever. Then the next day, I see him and he goes, hey man, I just want to just ask, like, I interrupted you at one point yesterday during lunch. I just want to make sure, like, I hope that didn't, I didn't mean to do that. I hope it didn't. And I was like, I don't even remember that happening.
He cares about you.
So funny. I mean, this was the first time we met.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, and it's pretty accurate of what he's like all
That's
the time.
awesome. I love
Yeah.
Damien. Damien's
he's
a good
great.
guy.
He's a good guy.
Unlike you.
Okay.
Just
All
kidding.
right.
You're a
There
great
goes
guy.
Gary.
You are a great
You're
guy.
a great guy too.
Thank you.
No problem, Olivia.
Well, speaking of guys,
Ooh.
I'm in between two.
Oh.
guy sandwich.
That's my favorite chef.
Olivia,
Guy Fieri's little brother.
Guy sandwich.
Guy Sandwich. They have different last names in that family.
but it's pronounced guy sandwich.
Guy Sandwich.
I hate that he just like he insists that people say Fieri.
That's not even his last name, right?
He can do whatever
It's
he
probably
wants.
like Guy Johnson.
It's like Jones or something.
Guy Jones. It's just like
Clark Bunsen.
just Guy Balrog.
Guy Balrog. He is a Balrog.
I love the photo of him with somebody photoshopped out his facial hair and gave him normal hair, and it's
Ooh.
so good. He just looks like an accountant.
He looks like someone who works at H&R Block.
Speaking of guys, Olivia, you got yourself a guy.
You got yourself a guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, tell us about your guy.
Tell us about your man.
Well, my man. His name is Sam.
Ooh.
Actually, I had to confess to Sam a couple days ago that, so I've like seen Sam on Instagram since I was like 17.
Okay, what? Hold on.
Okay, no,
This
no, no.
messes up the narrative.
No, I know. It's not like I didn't know who Sam was. I knew who Sam was because I think one day my friend showed me, because like my friend knew him, like you know how like the acting circle in LA, it's like, we all have mutual
Right.
friends and whatnot.
Right.
And someone showed me him, and I was like, oh, this guy's like super funny.
He is.
And like I just forgot about it. But then like he also has a very unforgettable face.
Yeah.
So like I was, sometimes I'd be like, oh yeah, that guy was funny. And then obviously you guys started working together. Like I never thought after seeing his Instagram and like seeing who he was, I would ever date this guy.
So
You're
Not
saying
because I just
you're saying like 6 years ago.
6
you
years
saw.
ago, because I
Whoa.
just never like put those, I'd be like, I would never look at someone and be like, yeah, I'm gonna date this guy.
But you
one
weren't
day.
following him. On
No, I wasn't
Instagram.
following him.
You
I was
just
admiring him,
You
and
just
I was
saw
like-
him forever ago. And were
Yeah,
like,
and I was
oh,
like, oh yeah, this guy's so funny.
Shayne, you you met Sam because you're both on the Goldbergs, right?
So I met Sam like 10 years ago.
Oh.
Actors.
Were you also admiring him on Instagram?
Yes, I admired him on Instagram. I was like, this guy's really funny.
I love his memorable face.
Acting circles, I just saw him around when I was a teenager, and we never worked together, but we just knew each other. We had mutual friends. And then, I was working on Smosh. I knew Olivia. And then I happened to book the Goldbergs and started working on that with Sam. And I was like, how funny is this? I'm working together with him. Very early on, just talking to him, I'd work with him sometimes, and I'd be working here with Olivia. And there were times where I was like, they are so alike.
It's like a man
You
and
tell
Olivia.
me that too.
And you both, at the time, you were in relationships, but I probably, it's not great of me, was saying, hey, I know, like, whatever, but you guys would be great together.
No,
you
but
were
you never
you were
said that.
slipping it in.
But he never really said that.
Not
He
really,
was
but
like,
I just knew it. And but then both of your things kind of ended at this around the same time, like within months of each other. Sam would see photos of like Instagram photos with us, and then he started to be like, hey, so what's up with your castmate Olivia? He's like, what's up with her? And then like,
But did he ever ask about me?
no.
no. But then yeah, he was like jokingly just be like, he'd be like, yeah, so what's up with Olivia? I love her. Like, he just was super into you pretty quickly. And I kept being like, you guys would be great together. And then he kept being like, yeah, well, but I don't want to be in a relationship right now. Like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, all right, because sure, you guys would be great together. And I would bring it up to you, and you were like, yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
like, whatever. But then he like commented on one of your Instagram stories.
Yeah, like, we would talk about Shayne. That was like the
That was the
common
main
ground.
topic.
It's a great
Hey, you
topic.
want to talk about Shayne
It's a really
for
great
5
topic.
hours? Yeah, sure.
It would literally, I think that was like an opportunity for us to like talk, but it would be about Shayne, although like I think we both enjoyed talking to each other. And I was like, hey Shayne, yeah, I think me and Sam are gonna like hang out in real life. And I was I still in a relationship? I was like, it was a couple days after.
No, you guys were single. I remember before you ever met. You didn't actually have plans. You bumped into each other at a grocery store, right?
Right. No, it was.
Was that a little planned?
It was a little planned.
See, I had this narrative in my head that you guys bumped into each other at the
Because the
grocery
way
store
we
like a
told you.
Michael Bublé music
Remember
video.
when we started pulling things out from her? Like, she's like, oh yeah, I went to like a movie or something. We're like, who'd you go to the movie with? And she's like, and we're like, was it Sam? Did you just the movie? She's like, yeah, just the movie. And then like later on, okay, we also like got a drink afterwards. We're like, oh really? Was that it? Yeah. That's all that happened.
Yeah. And
Oh, okay. And then like a week later, it's like, yeah, we also like made out that night.
yeah. No, I mean it's no big deal, but we also smooched.
Yeah, no, but you were right. Like this is why I think
Very quickly, like within a month, you guys were like, I love him. I love her.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I called
But
it.
it's also really funny because we're so similar, and
Yeah.
like that's what attracted us. Not that I'm obsessed with myself.
You guys are different, but you have a lot of similar interests and views on life, and you take a lot of things in stride the same way.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, okay, you guys are going to work really well together in that regard.
Yeah.
Because, you literally both, there's a specific grocery store in LA that I don't know anyone who goes there except for the two of you.
Yes.
And stuff like that was where I was like, all right.
And like the way like we love to work out.
Yeah.
But these are all like outside things, like exterior things. But like I would say Sam is probably the most genuine, kindest person because
He really is.
he doesn't like fake it, It's
No.
like he just like shows you exactly how he feels, and he's just so kind. I remember when we started dating, I was like, wow, I feel like you're just too nice to like I feel like I'm just so mean compared to you. Like
You
just,
are.
And then I was like, we both like talk shit.
I mean that is an interesting distinction, especially with LA, because nobody wants to ruin a connection.
Yeah.
Everybody is playing the sort of nice
Right.
game. And there are some people you could read through, you're like, all right, you're just putting on the face for me. It's weird. It's always weird, but when you find those genuine people, you gotta grab onto those people and never let them go.
Look, I'll admit, I think dating is really hard for me because I think it's really hard for me to let loose and be my weird self on the first couple dates.
Yeah.
So I don't feel connected because I'm not allowing myself to be genuine, and I recognize it, and I'm like, I want to stop. I want to be real, but I can't. Then I'm trying to be me,
Right.
and then that doesn't work. It's hard, man. It sucks.
But I feel like I always like said that any girl who dates Shayne is just Shayne is the best. You're just so like you're a
There's a diss at the end of this rainbow.
No, there isn't. I promise you. You're just so like well-rounded, and like you really take the time to understand the other person's point of view, which is so important in a relationship. And I just see that like you always do that for everyone, and you're so calm and yeah.
Are you gonna cry, Shayne?
Do we have any tissues?
Cry, you little bitch.
Do we have any tissues?
Do it.
I'm fine.
I honestly think you're such a great guy. Like,
Thanks, Olivia.
you want to date?
I'll date Sam.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I always, I don't know, I feel like you totally made the whole Sam and Olivia relationship happen. If it wasn't for you, I would
Yeah,
never.
you have to compliment me now that I helped you find the love of your life.
If we ever get
You're
married.
legally obligated
Yeah.
to compliment me forever. So that's all you're doing here is you're
No.
fulfilling that contract.
Is
Shayne.
Shayne gonna be your maid of honor?
Ooh.
Um,
I feel like it's only fitting that I am both best man and maid of honor.
I just
And I
don't-
just walk back and forth.
No, we'll cut you in half.
Yeah.
I just don't think you're gonna look great. Like,
Hey.
Okay.
Hey, excuse
Wow,
me.
what was up with that
I mean, I
compliment
have-
before?
Wow.
That was really
I
cool.
have like a color, like I want lilac, and
Oh,
lilac's
and I
just
don't,
not gonna look
just
good
not
on
my
you.
color. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that. That choice was on purpose so that I couldn't do it.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
everyone knows lilac is not my color.
I was color swatching here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Pantoned.
But I really do hope that Shayne, you, I don't know, just make a speech or something if we ever get married.
I'll make a speech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Better be funny.
Oh,
But
I'm
like
just gonna
not
make it genuine.
not like that funny.
Not too funny.
Not too funny.
Not
but,
too
like,
funny where I'm like destroying the tone of the whole night.
Exactly.
Like you want to hit a certain like vibe at the reception, but be there. But like hit the laugh and then be like and then like kind of like smirk to myself and just be like, no, but for
I'll
for
let
real.
you practice your stand up.
Okay.
at my
Like
wedding.
my tight five,
Yeah.
just right there. Has nothing to do with you and Sam.
Yeah, just practicing your jokes.
Yeah, great.
I think the speech could go something like this. You just go, he was a boy. She was a girl. Could it be any more obvious? He liked punk and she
She
liked
did ballet.
ballet.
What
more can I say? See, I think you should just do something like that and just wait to see how long it takes for the
Yeah.
people to realize you just ripped
Go
off
through
a song.
all, and then as soon as I finish that one, just go right into, hey, you.
I guarantee my parents will not understand what
I
you're
should be your
talking about.
girlfriend.
Well, you have to do it in Mandarin after.
Yeah. Oh, you
Oh,
also
yeah.
have to.
I have to learn
cater
Mandarin,
to the
huh?
Mandarin audience.
Boy, I'll learn Mandarin to give a speech at your
Chinese
wedding.
weddings are like dope though, right?
So lit.
I feel like every
So
culture
lit.
has better weddings than American weddings.
Yeah, we're like, I don't know, you like do a thing with the priest and then you go eat food and then you have some cake.
I just want to tell you guys, like, you guys are both single, and like, I know I'm always scouting for
Word.
women for you
Thanks.
guys. I'm always out there, I thinking about you guys.
Well, if you know a girl that's interested in somebody that's dead inside,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm your guy.
Yes.
So I feel like there's got to be somebody for that. you know?
Yeah.
Somebody that just wants an emotionless rock.
Corpse Bride.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always thinking like, which one of my friends can date Shayne or Ian or Keith or Courtney?
I feel like I don't do well.
Thank God I'm not single.
Yeah. I feel like I
It
don't.
always ends with that. All of your thoughts end with "Thank God
Yeah.
I'm not single."
Thank God.
Like I don't know if I want kale or celery smoothie. Thank God I'm not single.
Oh my God, celery juice. I've been obsessed.
Yeah.
Wait,
Does this just make you?
Go on.
Oh my God, guys! Like celery juice is like the newest trend. I mean, it's a
Doesn't
little it's a little 2 weeks.
Celery
ago.
doesn't really have anything to it, though,
well,
right?
You're wrong.
Isn't the point of celery is that it's the only food you lose calories while eating because
Yes.
it takes more to digest it than it actually
yes,
gives
but
you?
it's so good for skin and like you
Isn't-
detoxify your liver.
Isn't it kind of like bad to eat like a lot of celery?
I'm
Oh,
sure it's
I-
bad to eat a lot of anything.
Yeah, that's
So
true,
for
that's true.
an entire week and a half, I was drinking celery juice every single morning
And
and
that's
shitting
it.
my pants. Like
Yeah.
it was insane. Like all these
It gave
celebrities,
me dysentery.
all these celebrities were promoting celery juice, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And Sam and I were like, let's try it. So we would buy like a stalk of celery. Like one stalk of celery makes a cup of celery juice. It's crazy.
Wow.
So we were drinking that.
So it's pretty cheap.
I think
a stock
it's pretty
of celery is like nothing.
$1.99, $2.99.
And it's only
$2.99.
And it's only.
I go to Whole Foods.
That's some fancy celery
Let's
there.
say it's only $250 if you get Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were doing that because Sam wanted to, improve his skin, and I was just doing it because I'm a trendy LA bitch. So we were drinking that every morning, and I was just, dude, it was bad. Can I just tell you? This is gross. This is super gross.
Explain it in detail.
Because everyone is
wait,
promoting it.
Just say it really quietly into the mic, just right up here.
Okay, so like everyone's promoting it, and I'm like, if Jennifer Garner's drinking celery juice, I'm gonna do it. So then I started doing it, and the second time I had it, I was driving back home, and and Sam was like, dude, you gotta take me home. Like, I have to go to the bathroom. And I was like, all right, damn it. I guess he has one bathroom. I'm like, fine, you go to the bathroom. I'll go home because I live down the street. Dude, driving home was the worst. I contemplated just going on someone's lawn. Have you ever thought that?
Whoa, I've never thought.
No, I'm a pretty sane person.
So, but you would get out of your car, you'd park your car, get out, and just
bad.
diarrhea on someone else's lawn.
Dude,
See, I'm taking the L. My Honda Civic is taking the L. That's why I don't get a fancy car, so I can diarrhea in my car.
In LA, you would jump out, diarrhea all over the person's lawn. Person would come out and go, celery diet, and then just drop trow and just
respect.
Diarrhea next to
Kim
you.
Kardashian comes out, celery juice.
I think it's fun to know that all these big celebrities are probably just diarrhea.
That's what I'm thinking. As I was having these
themselves
thoughts.
every day.
Seriously.
Jennifer Garner, Kim Kardashian,
Just
Bella
all the
Hadid,
time.
they're all just constantly.
And I want to tell you guys this. I remember thinking, like, I was sweating. Like, it was so bad. I contemplated crapping on someone's lawn. Like, I've never thought that in my life, but it was so hard to, like, not think that.
Just imagine. Dude, I had food poisoning on set on Goldberg's like a month ago, and I had to drive all the way home on the 405 with food poisoning, and it took an hour. And the entire time I was like, I'm going to throw up and crap all in my car. I'm going to park my car in my parking spot, open the door, it's going to be a flood of just all of my body. As I just swim out of my car.
Do you guys remember Olestra?
No.
Are you guys too young for that? Okay.
I'm 12.
I was born in a different generation. God. We worked with somebody. He was literally a year older than Shayne, and he was like, "We're from a different generation." So Olestra was like a chemical that they realized that you wouldn't absorb the fat of like food if you put this like chemical called Olestra.
Ooh.
So what they did was they put them in potato chips because they're like, potato chips are fatty. If you don't absorb the fat, then hey, you could eat a bunch of potato chips. What they didn't realize is that people don't just eat a single serving of chips. So what happened was people were eating entire bags of chips with the Olestra and then just their brains out because it essentially like lubed up all the stuff down there and it just passed straight through.
That's awesome.
I think they were like Lay's.
Serving sizes of
God.
chips are an actual joke. I think a serving size of Cheetos is like 8 Cheetos. No one eats 8 Cheetos.
I eat Cheetos.
She eats
You
half
do.
a Cheeto.
Okay, this is one of the weirdest things about Olivia. It bothers me so much to this day is that she will pick up a Cheeto and she will take 10 bites out of it. No, she'll take 8 bites out of it. There'll still be some left, and she'll set it down and save it for later.
People think I do it on purpose because
No,
I
it's real. It's
no, like people think it's because you don't want to gain weight. No, it's literally because I just have these weird things that I like to do. It's just part of my quirk. I don't even do it for anyone. It's just who I am. I just like to take little bites.
It's so weird because I'm the opposite. I can't eat a single Cheeto at a time. I don't think I can eat 3 Cheetos at a time. I have to take a friggin' handful of
That's
5
because you're an ogre.
5+ Cheetos and smash them into my stupid mouth. That's the only way I can eat Cheetos.
Just go, wow.
Speaking of Cheetos, this is a topic I actually wanted to talk about here because I've been bringing this up this week. Who the hell eats regular Cheetos?
Nowadays?
Flaming Hot Cheetos are the only Cheetos anyone should be eating. Anyone who eats regular Cheetos is for sure a terrorist.
Or probably just somebody from like 1990s in a time machine. They're like, oh, Cheetos, great. Love these
Yeah,
things.
boy, just like whenever there's regular Cheetos around, I'm like, why did we do this? Who wants this?
Yeah.
I mean,
There's better.
it's
There's
not
flaming
bad.
hot Cheetos. I know they're not bad, but flaming hot Cheetos are significantly better. Everyone could
They
agree
are.
about that. Anyone listening who disagrees, I don't.
Because it masks the flavor of Cheetos.
No, it's a different flavor entirely.
Yeah.
It's not. Flaming hot Cheetos are not even like cheesy.
No, it's like a weird flavor, but you know, you
But
should
it's
try
so
it
good.
with cream cheese.
Whoa.
Oh, baby. Hey.
That sounds
ha.
crazy.
It's
Next level.
so good. It's probably so bad for you, but I remember in high school, that's all I ate.
That sounds really
Umami.
good. You know what I will
So
admit?
good.
What I think I like more than flaming hot Cheetos occasionally is Takis.
Takis
Takis Fuego.
are lit.
Takis Fuego are significantly.
But that's another thing. Would you eat normal Takis or would you just eat Takis Fuego?
Well, Takis Fuego are the only Takis.
Oh, really?
I don't think there's any. It's just hot Takis.
Well, since now we're on the topic of
Fire Takis.
snacks, and I've been wanting to talk about this. I've been thinking about
Ooh, what's
Okay.
going on?
I'm really obsessed with puffs these days. Like
Yeah, Cheetos Puffs are the only time where
No,
I think
not
the
Cheetos
regular.
Puffs.
No, not
Ooh.
Cheetos Puffs.
no, just anything that dissolves in my mouth without
Anything
me
puffed.
chewing.
What things come puffed?
You can make anything puffed.
Well, how do you make things puffed?
I don't know.
What?
Like
Olivia.
babies eat puffs because they can't chew.
Babies eat puffs?
Yeah.
Like what?
What kind of
I don't know,
puffs?
like-
I don't know. So you're
I
talking
guess
like
Put it in your mouth
like
and it
a rice,
dissolves.
like Rice Krispies, I guess.
Oh,
Those are
so-
puffed. That's puffed
It's like
rice.
soft, and then when you like just
Yeah.
when you put it in your mouth,
Kinda like
your
cotton
saliva
candy?
Kind of like dissolves it.
like cotton candy.
No, I think
That's a puff. Is
it's
that a
just
puff?
I just
Like
love
sugar
I
puff?
love how like light it is and the minimum work that I have to do to
Right.
digest it or eat it.
Hillary Puff.
That's funny. That's funny, Shayne.
Thanks. That's what I do.
But it's a snack that I love. Been eating some sweet potato puffs.
Okay.
I've been eating some paleo puffs. Oh, those are good.
Okay.
They're like made.
Paleo Puffs.
Yeah,
Made from like vegetables?
yeah. It's like made from like cassava root or something.
See, I'm not like the LA
Guys, I am
diet
so
person.
LA. I feel like
you are when it comes to diet.
it's
You're very
annoying.
LA.
It's so
the
annoying.
the only LA diet thing I do is I love kombucha.
You also love poke.
I do love poke, but that's not necessarily
not-
LA.
That's not LA.
That's not really
Come on, that's
LA.
Hawaiian. I mean, it's
I
it's
do love
Hawaiian,
sushi, but I also love fish. I love all seafood. I will eat any type of seafood. When I go to Florida, the seafood there
Do you
is
like
fantastic.
uni?
What is that octopus?
Sea
It's sea
urchin.
urchin.
Sea urchin? I've had uni.
I like it.
It's
Some
really
people
good.
Are, that's like one that's like really split because it's like it's more of a texture thing.
I had
think.
some in Japan that was really good.
It literally looks like a tongue.
Yeah, it's weird, but I like it.
Yeah.
No, I'm more a fan of like fish and crabs and lobster and shrimp and oysters. Oh my god,
my God, I
oysters on
love
the half
oysters.
shell. Get out of town.
But I feel like if you eat like a bad oyster, you'll be
oh yeah,
pants.
yeah. You might as well drink a whole bunch of celery juice at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love me some oysters. I never even had an oyster until probably a couple years ago.
Really?
Oh
And
boy.
my, and my friend, she worked at like an oyster bar, so she was like, "All right," gave me the whole rundown and everything, and showed me how to, put the things on it. And was like, "Okay, so like the oysters from the Pacific coast of the U.S. Are like fattier, and the shells are
Yeah.
thicker because of the cold water.
Yeah.
But on the
Oh.
East Coast, it's warmer water, so the shells are thinner and it's less
Yeah.
fatty. I was like, wow, I'm learning so
I
much.
know.
And now I'm going to pass off this knowledge so I can sound smart.
Yeah.
Wait, do you guys really think oysters are an aphrodisiac? Like, do you eat it and
No.
you're like, I'm horny?
no. I mean, apparently there is some science to that of like, but it's not extreme. It's not like,
Yeah, because
I just ate an oyster. Now I have a boner. It's just like, it might, have
If there's
effects
one thing that
could
turns
lead
me
to
on,
another.
it's slimy, wet
Yeah.
sea clam.
Exactly.
You know?
So it's a myth.
I don't think it's necessarily a myth as much as it's just not. It's more like, it can cause some things that might lead to some things, but
I also think like when you're having oysters, typically it's a more like fancy occasion. So there are other accoutrements
that makes
that
sense.
are
So it's
that
the
are on
ambiance
ta-
that's
I think
making
it's-
you
I
smart.
think
The
so.
ambiance.
Like who just like hangs out and eats oysters? Like hey
Fishermen.
bro, you want to? Okay.
And fishermen do bang.
They bang
a lot
all the time. What else?
Yeah.
Hey, if they say the boats are rocking,
That's
it's some fishermen.
That's why there's so
fucking-
many orgies in Jaws.
Really?
Dude, have you seen Deadliest Catch?
No.
They're just banging.
All
I'm not. I
the
get seasick
time.
watching like sea movies.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, The Perfect Storm. It's about an orgy.
Mm-hmm.
Just about
It's a
fishermen
perfect storm
eating a
of-
ton of oysters.
I mean, George Clooney's in
George
it, right?
Clooney, Mark Wahlberg.
It's the perfect storm of
John C.
sexy
Reilly.
men
Yeah.
all combining.
All just banging. Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, they had too many oysters.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the thing that happened today. So, yeah, we announced that Mythical bought Smosh, and we are
Yeah.
now part of the whole family.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. We brought back so many people from the Defy disaster, and that's been really awesome.
Yeah.
We've been teasing this for a couple days, and one of the big speculations was that Anthony was coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
I mean,
Because you read, did you not read a single comment?
dude.
No,
Oh, man.
I try to stay away from comments.
I tried
Gotcha.
to as well, because it's like, oh, here's this announcement of like awesome, like Smosh and all this stuff. And it's like several comments be like, yeah, this is great. And then there's one comment that's like, sweet, now you can get rid of Shayne, Olivia, Keith, Noah, and Courtney because they suck and I don't like them. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
I saw
all
some
right, dude,
poll.
thanks for killing the vibe,
Yeah.
man.
I just
Yeah.
like to think that, I'm just unliked all the time, so I don't have any expectations, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
good way
not
of going
bad.
in life.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
We've
But-
gotten very used to. It's been 4 years, and I still see comments that are like, "Get rid of those. Who are these new people?"
Yeah.
Like if you're commenting that means you haven't watched in 4 years.
I think that's the thing, because these sort of large announcements kind of pierce through the viewer base that's currently watching.
Yeah.
It hits some of the old people that
Right.
only know
Right.
Smosh as myself and Anthony, rather
Yeah.
than the sort of family that we've since built.
Right.
So for a lot of those people, you're going to see those comments and they're going to be upvoted by other people that were like,
Yeah.
what the hell is this? And, for them, they're seeing something that's completely different.
Right.
Um,
So Anthony's not coming back.
I mean, the door is open. If he wants to come make videos with us, he's more than welcome.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, those people, they're not going to be happy either way.
Right.
Because if we get Anthony in a video, it's not like we're going to be going back to 2012 Smosh or even 2015 or 2016 Smosh. Like that's past. That's
Yeah.
gone.
Right.
We did that and we've moved on. Like we've built this family where we have this sort of thing that we're doing, and so and even if we did try to go back and do that, it'd be trash. You can't win with those people. It's like that's one of those cases where you just really have to trust in what you're doing and trust in the people around you, and just kind of rally together. It would be fun to get Anthony in some videos.
I
though.
Yeah.
really want him for Try Not to Laugh and some other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I miss
have
that
a lot
guy.
of ideas. Yeah.
A lot of Padilla ideas. That
Oh.
was bad. I'm sorry. I'll take that back. I'm taking that back right now.
I just want to say, like, with those comments, the thing that I think a lot, though, is that I think they're really disrespectful towards Anthony.
Yeah.
Because he's had his own channel. He's been doing his
Yeah.
own thing for almost, is it 2 years now? More?
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
And I mean, he's killing it, and he's doing great. His stuff is really funny. And to say, like, oh, yeah, now Anthony can come back to Smosh and all that stuff, then what you're saying is, hey, stop doing your own thing. I only like you on Smosh.
Yeah.
I feel like that's super disrespectful to him, because I'm sure he's
is.
having a great time
Yeah.
doing his own thing. I'm sure it's awesome. It's great stuff.
I mean, he
And,
wouldn't be doing it if he didn't like doing it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a thing. And
Yeah.
and to say like, oh, Smosh is only Ian and Anthony, and if Anthony's going off doing his own thing, like then that. And
Yeah.
that's not cool. That's not cool for anybody.
Because that's reciprocal. You're saying, oh, Smosh is only Ian and Anthony. You're also saying Anthony is only Smosh.
Yeah.
It's like, no, if you're commenting that stuff, go support Anthony.
Yeah.
Go support him. Like, help, like,
Or support everybody.
yeah, support. I mean,
Or maybe if you just don't have something nice to say, maybe just don't say it.
Yeah.
it's tough. But I know it's a small group, because the majority of our fan base is so awesome and supportive.
Yeah, I feel like our fan base is just unlike any. Like, we've been around for 12 years, and like
Yeah,
they've just
it's-
seen everything. Like,
It's a wide range of people.
Yeah.
It's a
Because
lot.
we do have like these sort of like legacy viewers that have been watching Smosh since 2005. And we see it on our demographics. Our biggest demographic is 18 to 24, and then 24 to 35, and then 13 to 17.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a lot of people that
Right.
grew up watching Smosh, whether they started in
cool.
middle school or high school, and now they're in college, out of college. they popped out some babies. They're still watching.
Some experiences of meeting Smosh fans are really funny. Like I was in Catalina Island doing the zip line there, and our instructor, every time he was like zipping people off, he was like, "Hey, so what do you do?" And I was like, "I'm an accountant." He's like, "Cool," and he'd like zip them off, whatever. I come up and he's just like, "Hey, Shayne," as he's hooking me up to the zip line, he's like, "So what do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I do YouTube comedy." And he's like, "Oh, cool. What's the channel you're on?" I'm like, "Oh, it's called Smosh." He stops, he looks at me, and he goes, "I love Smosh," and then just pushes me off.
That's great.
Yeah, and then one time I was in Croatia, and my waiter at this one like outside restaurant, he was just like, "Excuse me," he's like, "Are you on Smosh?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Awesome." He's like, "I thought you'd be taller."
Oh, yeah.
My God.
It was really funny. It was super cute.
Yeah, I've gotten that a few times.
And
like, and it's just like sometimes it's like a look of disappointment. Like,
I thought you'd be Rhett and Link.
yeah, because there's been times when like it'll be like a girl that's taller than me. She's like, "Thought you'd be taller." I'm like, "Well, I'm not." So
Yeah.
I've gotten that before, but it's very different. They thought I was Mari. Like, for
God.
real, they thought I was Mari. They took the photo, and
How
they're
does
like,
that
"Yeah,
happen?
so, Mari." I was like, "Oh," I'm like, "You think I'm Mari?"
But they didn't have any pretense that you were in Smosh before that. They just came up to you
And they
at
were
a
like,
random place and
at
said,
Target.
"I think you're Mari."
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, oh no, I'm not Mari. I'm like, I'm Olivia. And they're like, "Oh, we only watch Smosh games." I never get offended when people think I'm Mari.
You two look nothing alike.
Exactly.
Mari's got like
What if he was
purple
just
hair.
trolling me?
That's possible.
Oh man.
Getting
Because that would have
Yeah.
been sad.
I had a guy, and it was right after I cut my hair. When I had the bowl haircut. It was actually the first time I cut my bowl off because I went back because people were saying I had a receding hairline, and I got self-conscious.
You don't.
Well, I do, but it's stayed in the relatively same place. Doesn't matter. I probably read too many comments and took them to
God,
heart.
the
too
comments
much.
really, even when you think like, oh, they don't affect me. Man,
Yeah.
one comment can just ruin your
I'm
day.
getting a boob job because everyone says no. It doesn't affect me. I'm just kidding.
But the first time that I cut my hair, I was walking through the mall and went to Hot Topic because that's where all the cool kids shop.
Yeah.
And I think I was wearing a Smosh shirt, which is kind of embarrassing to say now because it's cheesy when you wear your own merch in public.
I
But
wear Smosh
but
stuff
at that
in
time,
public.
well,
I have
that's
sandals
nice.
that say Shayne.
Me
But at that
too.
time,
That's my sandals say Shayne too.
but at that time it was also like free clothes, so half my clothes were merch. So the guy saw my shirt and he's like, "Oh yeah, I watch Smosh." I was like, "Cool, man." And then I thought he was doing this bit with me where he didn't recognize me, and we were talking. We had a full-on conversation about Smosh, and I started to realize like, oh, he doesn't know that I'm in it.
That's crazy.
And I was just like, and I didn't tell him. I didn't bother to tell him. I paid for my things, and I was like, "All right, see you later, man." And I just walked out of
God.
there.
Oh
That's
my
so
God.
funny. That's so funny.
But it was because I didn't have the bowl. The bowl is the
Yeah.
defining factor. I got recognized way less when I cut the bowl the second time too.
I think it's funny when I get recognized. What's great is it's funny is when they're like, "Hey, are you on Smosh?" I'm like, "Oh yeah," and then there's those like that pause. It's kind of like they're like, "Cool," and I'm like, "Yeah, cool." And then eventually one of us is like, "Oh, do you want to take a photo or what?" I'm always super awkward.
Yeah. One person came up and they're like, "Are you guys Smosh?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then she just took a picture and just walked away. It's like,
There-
you don't want to be in it? All right.
There will be a couple times where someone will be like, "Oh, you're on Smosh?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Cool," and they'll just like shake my hand and be like, then walk off. I'm like, "Cool, that was
That
very
was cool. Yeah,
very respectful."
I've experienced that too. Wow, this is like these experiences are so unrelatable to so many people too. It's like such.
It is a weird thing,
Yeah.
yeah. Because before Smosh, I never experienced that
Me
at all,
neither.
and then it started to happen very quickly,
Yeah.
within months.
Do you ever approach other famous people?
I don't, and I think I think fans should always come up. If you see me out somewhere, I'm always willing to like take a photo or meet you or whatever. But I don't go up to other celebrities mainly because of fear of them being a jerk.
Right.
I'm
me
like,
too.
I don't want to meet my hero and them be like mean to me, and then that's all ruined forever.
We went to the premiere of Dumb and Dumber 2, and there was like an after party, and Jim Carrey was walking by, and I was like, that guy's a legend, and I'm never gonna get the chance to see him again. And I hate myself for doing this, but I'm gonna just screw it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go ask him for a photo. And I was like, and he was walking by. I was like, hey man, would it be like, big fan, whatever. Like, could I get a photo? And he's like, oh, sorry, no. And I was just like, oh.
A lot of celebrities just have a rule of like no. I've heard Chris Pratt has openly said like he doesn't.
Well,
do that.
me and Chris are good friends. So,
Yeah,
Yeah, if you want that picture, I can make it happen.
I think I'd maybe
Does
get
he
a
still-
photo.
Does Chris Pratt still follow you?
I haven't checked. I've not checked.
I think I would ask for a photo if it was something like kind of funny. Like if I saw Guy Fieri, I'd be like, all right, I'm getting a photo with Guy Fieri.
Oh man, I got a photo with Nick Crompton. That was like one of my
See, stuff like
shining
that.
moments.
That's great. That's smart.
I was like, because it was maybe a few months. It was maybe a few months after It's Everyday, Bro.
Ooh, so that's prime Crompton.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that was
Crompton
peak.
is everyone's favorite.
That's
Like,
peak.
we can all
That's peak Crompton.
Yeah.
we can all agree Nick Crompton is the true hero.
Yeah.
He's the
he's
heart and
great.
soul of. He was the heart and soul of Team 10.
Yeah.
I didn't like him for a while, but then I was like, and then we watched the documentary. I was like, wow, you're smart. Like, you have a brain.
Yeah.
He actually hit me up when Defy collapsed. He actually hit me up and was like looking for some. He was trying to get in there.
What do you mean?
And try to say he was trying to like
buy.
look for a way to like
Wow.
say Smosh.
If Nick Crompton
I
bought
was like, this
Smosh.
is so weird. We
That's
got on a
so
call.
sweet.
We got on a call and stuff, and it didn't. It
He's
didn't really
such
work
a sweetie.
out. But anyway, so yeah, I saw him at a party at VidCon, and I was like, I gotta get a photo with
Yeah,
Crompton,
You got to.
and I was like, hey man, England's my city too, and he's like, oh, I didn't even mean to say that. And then you just wrote it in. And I was
That's
like,
cute.
Yeah. He's
There's
a nice guy. Good
There's
guy.
one YouTuber that if I saw, I'm getting a photo of, and that's Danny Sexbang. Huge fan of him. Have been for a long time. And I know a lot of people I know him. But I'm not trying to force it.
Right.
I want it to happen naturally.
But you're saying if I were to set up a meeting.
Listen, all I'm saying is please help me meet Danny Sexbang.
Okay.
I would love that. God, I've been such a fan.
I think Ian can make that happen.
I know. I know it's very realistic for me to meet
Are you
him.
gonna embarrass me, Shayne?
Yeah.
I'm
going to drink a liter of celery juice before I meet Danny Sexbang.
and just dump.
And just dump right in front of him. He's just like, hey, how's it going, man? I just crap myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal. I'm a fan of both the Game Grumps. I'm a huge fan of. And I've seen Aaron. I saw him at VidCon, and I was just kind of freaking out near him.
Yeah.
But because I have my rule of I'm not gonna go greet them, whatever. But I've heard they're the nicest people.
Yeah.
So I know if I went up and met them, they'd be cool.
Yeah, they're both incredibly nice.
But Danny Sexbang is specifically the one.
Music's great.
His music's
it's
incredible.
honestly
He's
great.
such a chill dude. Yeah, man. Damien and I are huge fans of both of them.
I would love to meet him. I don't know who he is.
Oh, he's the best.
He's awesome.
He's a legend.
Can he be on this podcast?
He could be.
He would do
could.
great on this podcast.
I feel like he's touring all the time.
Yeah,
Like every time
they're
I've
very
tried to
busy.
get something together, it's like, oh, I'm on tour, or like he's on tour.
Yeah.
It would be fun to get him in because he's incredibly nice. Like
Yeah, he
one
seems
of
it.
the
He
nicest
seems it.
I love nice people who
Yeah.
are successful.
He kind of reminds me of like the second coming of Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, that's kind of what he is in a
Yeah.
way. I feel like a lot of times people who success finds them later are super, super nice. Because I've heard Steve Carell is super nice. And, Danny Sexbang, he, didn't really get blow up and stuff until he was in his 30s.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, he's older now, but so he's probably grateful. Like, he's probably like, oh, man, he remembers not having all of this.
Yeah.
So
probably
whatever.
put in a lot of work and put a lot of time into his craft.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just pick up an instrument or,
Yeah.
write like
No,
that out of
he's,
nowhere.
He's so good.
We found out a couple days ago that one of the head people at Defy, or one of the leaders at Defy, blocked a lot of us on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't block me though.
He blocked me.
He blocked me.
And my Twitter is I'm not out for anyone. I'm nice on Twitter.
I hadn't tweeted anything about Defy
Did
at this
he
time.
hate my jokes that much?
No, I think it's probably like he just, when you feel guilt. No, I don't think he felt
No.
guilt.
It's like a breakup. He's
See,
like,
the
I'm just
thing
gonna
is,
block her.
I was very happy that he still, followed me, but then I realized I'm like, maybe he didn't even remember me. Like maybe he was like, I didn't think to unfollow her because she was so irrelevant to me. But then I was like, yeah. And I think I was stalking his page.
Yeah.
I think he invested in like Swedish scooters. I'm not even
God.
joking. He keeps retweeting the Swedish scooter company.
God.
And I'm like, ugh.
Someone from Clever, which was another Defy property that also got saved. They got saved by Hearst, which is a giant media conglomerate. She sent me a screen cap. I didn't even say anything about it. She sent me a screen cap this morning that she was blocked by him too.
Oh
and I was
my
like, oh my God, we're all blocked.
That's insane. Look, I don't want to be petty. I don't want any ill will out there. But all I'm saying is if I happen to drink a liter of celery juice and be driving by his house, I might take a crap on his lawn. If in that scenario,
Right.
in that scenario where I can't hold it anymore, if I conveniently drive by his place and diarrhea all over,
Right.
whatever.
As one
I
does.
just feel like, the industry is so small that one day, like, things will get around and I might see him again. And I, too, will drink celery. and I'm not that nice, I might just everywhere around him, on him.
Like a circle.
Yeah.
Like you're doing some kind of seance.
Yeah.
Like you can't
Yeah.
leave the circle of your dookie. We've talked about poop a lot on this episode.
It's been that. It's been
That's
that
my brand.
That is Olivia's brand.
Welcome to Poop Talk.
Welcome
This
to Poopcast.
is,
Do you ever like, he's like a great scenario of, do you ever just like think about how you're gonna approach this person if you see them in public? I always like make up these scenarios in my head of like, I'm gonna do this and say this.
Oh man, have you ever? All of us do this. When you get in an argument with a person in your head, like I'll be in the shower and I'll be thinking about someone who like said something small to me, something insignificant, but I will like in my head imagine, okay, if they say something else to me, this is what I'm gonna say, and then I bet they're gonna say that, and then oh boy, I'm gonna say this, and then oh they're gonna say that, and then oh I'm gonna say that, and you just go through it, and you realize I'll be like, I am so mad.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
8 a.m.
Yeah.
Nothing bad has happened.
Yeah.
And I'm pissed.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'll see that person that day, and they're like, "Hey, how's it going, Shayne?" I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, this is,
I completely wimp out.
me too.
I go through those scenarios. I'm like, yeah. And then I'm just a completely nice person to them.
Actually, I don't wimp out.
You don't wimp
I
out.
don't. And
You
I
don't.
think you've witnessed this.
Oh yeah, you don't. It's why I will always avoid pissing you off.
No, but the thing is, I let it go really quickly too.
Yes, that's the thing. You'll get mad and it's scary, but then you're making sure to like find a reasonable end to it.
I hate being unreasonably mad for no reason. And like when I'm actually really mad, I talk like a robot. And it's so weird.
It kind of, I've seen it a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's really weird. I don't know why I get into this like mode where I'm like, I'm really upset because of this and this and this. And then I'm like, I literally don't talk like that. But I feel like that's just how I'm like, that's how I stay calm.
Have you and I ever? I don't feel like you and I have
No,
ever really
no,
gotten.
I
in
don't-
that. I avoid. I feel like I'm pretty good at avoiding
Yeah,
fights
I don't think
with
you've ever
people.
gone into any arguments with any of the cast.
I don't think so either. I think Courtney and I have had a couple moments where we're like a little mad at each other, but it's never a fight. It's just whatever. But I don't think so. Yeah. And Noah and I think, and I've known Noah for like 10 years. I think there was one time where he and I kind of got upset at each other, but then within 2 minutes, I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, man."
It's like whenever I am about to argue with Noah, like within 2 seconds, I'm like, I'm gonna be exhausted after this. I'm like, I'm not gonna argue
It's
with
not
him.
worth the effort.
It's really not.
Yeah. Noah's very good at arguing.
Yes.
You know, he would be a good politician. He could just filibuster for like
He
forever.
could for sure. He would agree with that.
He just talks and talks and talks, and you're just like, I'm confused. Do
Yeah.
you remember that phase where Noah just ranted?
Yeah.
all the time?
Noah went into a conspiracy theorist
Oh,
phase.
yeah. That was the phase.
He got
It was
very into
so-
conspiracy theories, and he was always talking about them.
I think he picked up on it because he after a while, like we'd be at lunch and it'd be like, oh man, Noah's talking, and then like and then
I would leave.
People would start to like find an opening to just leave the room.
Oh, yeah.
And then it would just be me sitting there with him going like, yeah, I mean like I don't think it really works that way. Like I don't think the public sewage system works in that sort of way, but all right, yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's not how college tuition works, but all right, yeah. Yep, I don't think that's how taxes work, but okay.
I just love that, like, all of his rants it'll go on for 2 hours, and then it'll always end with just like, yeah, and like, it's like that, and like, I don't know, man. It's just whack.
Yeah, it's just
It's
whack.
it's like, all right.
No, it always ends with, it's just whack, man.
That's literally the end of every single rant.
But I think
great.
it's so funny how we like witness each other like go through phases,
Mm-hmm.
and like we are like growing together, and it's like really cool.
You guys saw my, I went through my, I don't give a crap about what I wear for 2 years, and then my glow up. Because I used to wear shorts, tank tops, and flip flops
beanie.
to work, and
And a beanie.
That would be my outfit I wore every single day.
And nothing matched. It was like, I'm going to wear a teal shirt and like a orange beanie. I'm going to come in here with my khaki shorts above my knees.
Yeah.
I would say Ian's glow up was huge too, like both of you guys and me. Like I always like notice what you guys wear, and I was like, wow, like single Shayne, single Ian, like I'm like, damn, they're fine.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know.
Yeah, I started rolling up my jeans.
Yeah.
Bought some desert boots.
I did have a beard, but then I had to shave it off for a video.
Do you
'cause I
remember
was
that
playing
one time
Pitbull.
Shayne had to do a table read with us, and he just walked in with aviators and just never took them off?
I know. Inside, the lights were bright in that conference
He like
room.
had these sunglasses on for an hour,
Yeah.
and I defended you.
Yeah, you
Because
did.
people were like, wow, I'm like, no, he's living his life. He's
true.
25. He's at his peak. Like, let him do whatever he wants.
I was like, that was like 3 weeks into being single, and I was like, I gotta let people know.
yeah.
I gotta let people know I'm on the market.
Or were you
and the
just
best way
hiding all the tears?
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe, but no. No.
When Shayne told me about his breakup, I cried.
Yeah, you and Keith are the first people I told. It was during an entire shoot week, and it was so we were filming videos every single day. Then on Wednesday, in the middle, like on a break, I just was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, my girlfriend and I broke up," and I was like, "Don't tell anybody. I gotta keep it together." And we shot a whole bunch of stuff, and
I think that was also the first. That might have also been the first shoot without Anthony as well.
Yeah.
it was
yeah.
literally. I said goodbye. I remember saying goodbye to Anthony,
But we had to keep it a secret.
We couldn't talk about that publicly. But also, like, as I was saying goodbye to him, I was sitting there just in my head, just being like, this is so much to deal with in 1 week.
I know.
2 breakups in 1 week. It was tough.
That's tough.
It was really tough.
You guys have been with me through my breakups too.
Yeah,
We've all
man.
been with each
So
other.
many of us went through breakups
Yeah,
and stuff.
I remember like mine was hilarious. I'm like, just cried and I left.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there for that because it was in the middle of a table read, and you just got up and you're like, I gotta go.
Oh my
right?
god, that was the saddest thing
I thought it
ever.
was so funny too. I was like, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I'm just like crying
Nah,
in front
man.
of everyone.
I won't say his name. I'll change his name. But it was, you were reading a script, right? And it said that your character was supposed to cry.
Yeah.
And so you like started to cry, and you're like, and we're like, Olivia, are you okay? And you're like, it's just me and Bob broke up. And then you like literally like shouted it, and then you ran out of the room, and we were all like,
Dude, I'm dramatic as
like, and I didn't know this was coming. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know any of this. And you said that, and you ran out, and like all of us were frozen. Like, we were like, what just happened? Was that part of, I don't think that was written in the script.
Meanwhile, when I heard about it, I was like, good.
I would have set up my friend with
According
her.
to plan. It's probably crappy of me, but there's probably times where you were talking about what you guys were going through, and I was like, oh, you should break up.
But I also was like, I never wanted to tell. I'm also the type of person where I don't like to like air out my dirty laundry
Yeah.
unless it's like for sure, because I don't
Yeah.
want to seem like I like to seem like I'm reasonable and I have my shit together.
It's funny you mentioning the like maybe saying like you guys should break up, because I feel like friends always want to either have the person break up with their significant other or find the person a new significant other. Like it's always like that weird thing where it's like, oh yeah, you guys like, you deserve better. And then once they're broken up, they're like, you need somebody. You need here this person, take
Right.
them. Like, it's funny.
Yeah.
We're just never happy with our friends just being in a relationship.
It's definitely a thing. Like, going forward, though, I all my friends were so nice and everything, but I had one friend who, like a year before the breakup, kind of said like, oh, I don't know if you guys are good together. I don't know if I'm just, not, no offense, but whatever. Yeah. And that actually was huge because it kind of gave me that confidence, that affirmation to go, okay, this is right. This is what I should do. And I've told all my friends since, I'm like, hey, the next time I'm in a relationship, if it's your opinion as my friend that it's not good, whatever, just please tell me. Like, I know I don't have to listen to it, whatever, but please give me those opinions because I value those. And it's very easy to get, what's the term? Like, you're not thinking straight when you're in a relationship sometimes. And if you're in not a great thing, it's easy to go, oh, no, this is fine. This is normal. When maybe it's not at all. And your friends are all going, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
And I wish I did that.
As a friend.
I don't blame anybody. Yeah. I think it's very nice, but.
As a friend, like, especially if you're talking about like emotionally abusive relationships or physically abusive relationships, as a friend, it's important to suggest it, but with abusive relationships, oftentimes it's hard to pull them across, and you have to let them see the light sometimes, but still be there for them in the event that it happens.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
Wow, what a dark subject to end on. We're coming up on our time. Any final thoughts? What did we learn today?
Celery juice makes you shit.
I think the celery juice makes you shit is the main thing.
Yeah.
Right. I'm once again, I'm just very excited about all this. This is very cool.
Yeah.
Being in this space, it's like, it just feels so natural, it just feels like home. Like, where, when it feels like we just belong here, and it's not weird at all.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a much cooler space. It's a much better vibe.
Yeah.
Already I'm having so much more fun. I mean, I've always loved the job, but this is it's somehow so much more fun.
Yeah, it just seems like we don't have like limitations. Like,
yeah.
Like it just, I feel more comfortable.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm like Bradley Cooper in that one movie.
Good.
Limitless.
I'm glad. I'm really glad it's all working out. So that does it for this episode. I believe we did get our shit together, and the podcast is on all of the podcasty things.
Woo!
So feel free to listen to it, subscribe to it. It comes out on audio form on all the podcast things. I believe it'll be on Wednesdays.
Ooh,
and
the best
then
day.
The video will be coming out on Fridays.
Ooh, the best day.
For now. So if you want to hear it first, you got to hear it on the audio. Can't see our pretty faces.
Nope.
Sorry. My face is really hot. Is it red?
No.
Okay,
no.
great. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you next week.
See you later.
See you. Goodbye.
Goodbye now.
Bye.
Gross.